Hi, IFundWomen land. It's Pay It Forward. Beautiful, Janelle. It is great to have you here. We're so excited to have you join us for our Pay It Forward this month. For those of you who don't know, Janell Stephens, founder of Camille Rose, a lifestyle brand that specializes in natural hair care products and has expanded to skincare as well and more. Janelle has been at the forefront on the radical shift in the billion-dollar beauty industry and has been an iconic trendsetter within this space from the start of the movement. And Janelle happens to be our magical money elf today, giving money to Black and queer founders in celebration of Pride Month and Juneteenth, who are crushing their crowdfunding campaigns right now. Janelle, can you tell us a little bit more about you and why you're joining our Pay It Forward party this month?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much. I am so excited about this, about doing something like this and being in the position to do something like this. Of course, it's every successful, I'm sure, business owner dream to be able to give back. And so right before COVID hit and the whole lockdown, we had this whole rollout plan, marketing plan that we were going to do even through my foundation, Janell Stephens Foundation, where we would, give back to our community and to Black-owned businesses. Of course, with COVID and all kind of other stuff just started coming up, we said, okay, let's pause it and then pick back up when we are better aligned with what's happening with the world. And so we are now picking back up. I'm so excited to partner with iFund. For those of you guys who do not know me or my brand, I'm Janell Stephens, creator and founder of Camille Rose. And I started my brand back in 2011. So it was a hobby turned business of mine. And just kind of grew my brand organically. I make products for hair, skin. We're launching Camille Rose Home. I always consider myself as the, oh yes, girl. Look, I'm the Black honest company, Jessica Alba. You know what I'm saying? She had, her kids had a skin reaction and so did mine. She just had a bigger name and more money. So she put herself out there before, Camille Rose was able to do. But I got a notebook full of formulas that I am going to share with the world. And so, I'm excited about, partnering with you guys and giving back to people who, were once just like me in their kitchen, have this idea. I started my brand, but, I need money to keep growing. And so, yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Capital makes the magic happen for sure.
Yes.
And so many of our businesses are in your position back in 2011, trying to figure out how to make it work. How am I going to build this brand? All of those things. And excited to have so many women raising funds on our platform and to be able to supercharge their funding efforts with the help of Camille Rose is such an amazing opportunity.
It really is. And I also want to say that for us to still be 100% Black owned, and it's going on 10 years now that Camille Rose has been in selling products to big box retailers. So we've been able to grow organically, grow at our pace, and continue to be 100% owned by me, woman owned and Black owned. So that's huge in itself. So I'm very proud of that.
Much to be proud of. And I'm going to pass it over to you to announce our first Pay It Forward grant.
Yes, I hope you guys are ready for this. This Pay It Forward, before I announce the name. So I chose this person because they act as a directory for businesses, as a place to come together, put their products and display their talent. So I know when I started Camille Rose, it was like, okay, I'm selling it online, but I want stores. I need doors. And going to just cold calling businesses and trying to explain, what your product is for, who it's for, who's your consumer. You got a lot. I got a lot of no's. So I didn't have a place for, okay, this is Black owned. They get it. They understand it. My products can live here for a second. So this person that I chose and this company that I chose was very important and to me and has a special place in my heart, and it is much needed. So the first person or company is the Black Creators Convenience Store in Black Atlanta. Okay. So
Yes.
the founder is Raven Strode. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. So Black Atlanta has become a growing directory for Black-owned businesses in the ATL. And through its online directory, it elevates the presence of Black owners and their brands. Okay, guys? So y'all hit them up. They created this platform to circulate the Black dollar in the community, right? So they created a platform that we can spend with ourselves in our community and able to give back. So this company has a special place in my heart. So I'm excited to give back to them to help them to continue to grow.
Pay it forward. I love it. Amazing.
Yes.
Congrats,
Congrats,
Raven.
Raven.
Yes, I see Raven in the chat. Super excited. So super excited for you, Raven. I get the honor of announcing our next Pay It Forward grant recipient, which is based in Minneapolis. Shawnee Grigsby, founder of Flava Cafe. Flava Cafe is a social enterprise community cafe invested in offering quality coffee, food, service, and programming that eliminates disparities for young women of color and gender expansive youth. Congrats to you, Shawnee. Janell, if there's any words you want to share on what stood out to you about Shawnee, feel free. But we're really excited about what she's working on.
Yes, in honor of Pride Month. Congratulations, Shawnee. You deserve this. Flava Cafe. I love coffee. I love what you're about. You want to help young women. And you created this cafe for them to come and feel safe and to continue to, grow in the Minneapolis community. So congrats to you.
Amazing. And for our last recipient, Janell, do the honors.
So I chose this person because she is a mom of young kids. Her son has special needs. I'm a mom of 5. Camille Rose was started because my kids had bleeding eczema, and I had to try to find products that were organic, natural, to kind of help them with their issues. And so this company, her situation was kind of similar. However, it wasn't beauty products. It's not beauty products. It's food. So she created a snack that is natural for her kids, that won't have them get hyper when they eat artificial colors and flavors. So I thought this was pretty dope. Love Spin, Teresa Dozier. I say Dozier. I'm from Louisiana, so I say Dozier. I don't know if you pronounce your last name different, but congrats to you. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing for your kids, creating generational wealth for your son, and also she's also giving back to kids that have autism. So congrats to you, Teresa.
Congrats, Love Spun.
Yes.
Love what you're working on. And I'm really excited because, Janell, I need to know so much more about you. It is so powerful to be able to partner with Black women-owned businesses who are in a spot where they can deliver capital back to our community. Again, this Pay It Forward was focused on Black and queer founders. And I'd love to, you gave a little bit about your background story, but really our entrepreneurs are, again, in that 2011 kind of headspace of getting the business off the ground. So if you could provide a little bit of information on what those early days were like and how you persevered through the no's. I know our audience is hungry for that insight.
So I went on this quest for an all natural lifestyle, mainly because the children that I was having had skin issues. They had eczema, not just regular eczema. They had like bleeding eczema. So it was the eczema that you would back away from and like, what is going on? And these horrible, ugly, dry patches all over their bodies. So every physician that I brought my kids to told me the same thing. Make sure I'm label reading the ingredients, that the products that you're using on your kids. Watch the foods that they're eating. And I'm like, okay, you're telling me this. I hear it, but I'm thinking I'm using products that are organic. Well, back then the products weren't as regulated as they are now. So I'm Googling the ingredients on the organic products and I'm floored, to see what these ingredients could potentially do when they are absorbed into the body. And then way down the list, you see one organic ingredient, and then they're claiming I'm organic because of that one tiny ingredient that's at the bottom of their list. So that, and the doctors just prescribing them steroid creams. I'm like, listen, I can't keep putting these steroids on my kids, First of all, it's going to scar their skin. Second of all, it's a temporary fix. So, when you start having kids, you turn into not just a regular mom, but you turn into super mom. So you're going to do whatever you have to do to try to help them, help your children. And I did just that. I was like, okay, I got to fix this. I am going to research ingredients. I did that for a year. I had all kind of packages coming to my house. I consulted with an herbalist, and I went to my kitchen and I was whipping it up. If it worked, loved it, kept it. If it didn't, I threw it away. I'm back in my kitchen, back in my laboratory, which is where master mixtress, that term, came into play.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I'm literally, when I say I have a notebook full of formulas, I do, and it's just not hair and skin. It's my all-purpose cleaners for the home, everything. And through bad foods out of my pantry, out of my refrigerator, and I went on this whole natural quest. Started giving it to family and friends. This Diaper Rash cream that I created, I'm like, oh, I gotta share this, because if you're changing your baby and their bottom is bleeding, that's not a pretty thing. And did my creams, work like magic. So I said, my concoctions, my formulas, I want to share with other people. And Camille Rose turned into this business. I'm a therapist by nature. I have a master's in science. I had no idea that I was going to be in this beauty space, but God said different. He put me in here and in this position to help, people, women of color, families of color, and Black businesses. And so, I received it. I've grown at my own pace. Target, when I first got into that retail store, they wanted to give me hundreds of doors. And I know my products were still handcrafted. So I politely said, not right now. I'm not ready. I'll take 100. Now, anybody would be like, wait, $1,000, $100, that's a big, huge check that you chopped away at. But I wanted to get on those shelves and still produce or sell the product that consumers that were buying online knew me for. I wanted to make sure I'm able to still handcraft my products and put them on the shelves. I didn't want to change at all. And so I was okay with walking away, taking on retail stores that I can handle first, and then growing organically. And from there, and by me staying true to that, you know, every year we started growing and growing and growing. And now, of course, you know, the brand is pretty much sold everywhere.
Absolutely. I think there were so many gems dropped in there that I hope everyone picked up on. But I think a big one is one of the first coaching calls that we have with entrepreneurs is my capital plan. There's so many different funding sources out there, but from jump, you need to understand what is your ultimate goal for this business. Is this something that you want to continue to run years and years down the line, or are you looking for some type of exit? And based on that desire, you know what to say yes to, and you know what to say no to. And I know you mentioned that you are still today 100% Black owned. If you could share just a little bit about how you've approached your funding journey for this business, and what that looks like, I know that would be super valuable for
my funding journey for Camille Rose, guys, is all self-funded. And I go back to me taking my time with it. I have always been a little scared about, okay, I don't want nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so that worked for me up until this point. You know, I just grew when I could grow. And I just remained 100% owned by me. And I've been okay with that. But I do want to tell everybody that when you get to a certain point and you want to expand your business, and we launched overseas, all that is still funded by me. But as you continue to grow and want to release collections in every category, it may not be a bad thing to, you know, take on additional funding only when you are ready. But remaining the majority owner is very important. Camille Rose, we are not at that point. We're still able to keep things going on our own, which is a blessing. However, initially I was like, I don't know, y'all. Let's keep it, you know. But you know, as you continue to grow and get bigger, you know, you have a better understanding. So that may not be a bad thing. It's just for what works best for you. So far, Camille Rose, me being 100% owner, has been working.
I love it. And our marketing director in the chat is saying one of my favorite phrases: revenue is the best fundraising strategy.
Yes.
That grow when you can grow piece is huge. And
huge.
we're so dogmatic about crowdfunding because it allows you to prove demand for your product or service before you invest in supply, so you can avoid going into debt. You can test out, is this something our audience, not only do they like it, but will they buy it? Because that's the biggest piece. But also, you're not giving away equity. It's cash in your pocket. And so that's why we really see it as the first stop on your funding journey. I wish IFundWomen had existed back in 2011 when you had got started. And that grow when you can grow piece is huge. And then I also think what you said about your background being in therapy and having the audacity to believe that, like, you could create this. And first of all, you were solving a problem that you had. And then I think oftentimes we have that kind of, well, why? We always ask the question, why are you uniquely qualified to start and run this business? I know that your lens, through that thoughtfulness, that empathy, that all of that is poured into your brand and plays a role in why you are the brand that you are and why your customers are so loyal to what it is that you're creating.
Absolutely. And then also keep in mind, when you get like an outside partner or additional funding from other people, they have a say. And their main goal and focus is to, how can I get the most money out? I need my money back, you know? And so you have to make sure you're ready for that. you have to make sure you're ready to bring outside people at the table with you to make decisions on your brand. Um, they may come in and say, okay, you don't have to use. One thing about Camille Rose and my formulas is I made the product for me and my family, so I'm gonna give us the best. And I'm not gonna give us a tiny bit of good ingredient and fill the rest of the bottle with water. No, that wasn't working for us and for my family. So, I have a say. Even when we grew to where we are now, and I had to get a manufacturing laboratory, right, to help me produce and keep up with the demand, I made sure, listen, do not come to me with nothing synthetic. Do not tell me, oh, this is a cheaper ingredient and it doesn't say. I don't care. I want to make sure that these are the products. This is my formula, and when I use it, I feel good about using it, and I'm getting my consumer. You know what I'm saying? My consumers the best, because the consumers determine if you on the shelf, stay on the shelf, and they have to pull you off the shelf. So.
That's it. That's it. And somebody said, asked a question in the chat about getting on shelves. It sounds like in the early stages, you decided to start where you could and what was reasonable and manageable for you. Any advice on that?
Yeah. So my thing, I tell young entrepreneurs right now is to build your social media presence and let people know what you have to offer. Let them into your everyday work life, show them your product, speak about your product, have the attitude like you have the best product in the world. Do not pay attention to what your competitors are doing. Keep that tunnel vision and believe in your brand and yourself, and build that consumer base socially first. Don't worry about getting on the retail shelves, right? Because what people don't realize is that your e-commerce is your target. Your e-commerce is your Amazon. Build there, right? Because you control it 100%. So take your e-commerce, your website as, this is my Target, this is my Walmart. Put love there. Put love in your social media channels, your Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're on. Put love there as well, right? And run it as a big box retail store.
Gems on gems. There was another question about getting buzz. I would definitely check out our workshops library. We have a ton of workshops on marketing. I love to close these out, giving you the opportunity to make an ask of our community. Janell, how can we support you? It sounds like you have some things coming down the line. We're ready to support. Just tell us how.
Yes, definitely follow at Camille Rose Naturals on our social page, and also follow me at Janell, JANELL_Stephens, STEPHENS. And I forgot to pin that. So it's Stephens with a PH. Follow me on my Instagram page and just support the brand, y'all. It's so needed that we support each other. It's so needed that Black people buy Black. We need it. We need it. Keep our dollars in our community. I didn't realize how important that was. Even though I knew that, I didn't realize how important it was until I became a business owner myself, right? Control our dollars, guys.
I love it. And Janell practices what she preaches today. Yes. Camille Rose was an amazing partner in funding our June 2021 Pay It Forward for Black and queer founders, raising funds through crowdfunding on IFundWomen. Thank you so much to Janell. Congratulations to all of the Pay It Forward grant winners.
Congrats, ladies.
If you are a woman of color entrepreneur looking for support on your business, apply to iFundWomen of Color, ifundwomen.com/WOC. We would love to have you in the community. And we will see you next time. Thank you again, Janell.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Bye-bye.